Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Now, we were doing sort of an exercise with our guests.
Yeah.
And we do this thing before we start truly broadcasting or recording the show.
Yeah, it's broadcast on Twitch.
Right,
So if you want to listen, because we're doing all this content even before or after shows that you get to see behind the scenes. Sometimes, okay, before we introduce our guests, I am constantly worried every time we have guests because they'll start, after we finish the show, they'll just start
cheating
talking
on my wife the other night. Oh, man.
They'll start talking, and then I'll be like, I'll be like, we're
them.
still on, the people are there.
Yeah, you have to tell them. I always tell them.
No, I know, but sometimes I feel
Sometimes
like
they stand up in front of the cameras and they adjust their genitals, and I'm like, oh, that was unfortunate.
Well, I'm worried about them. They say something they didn't want out there.
I saw Chef Pat pick his wedgie.
No, come on.
Today's broadcast. But on the line with us right now are the Shelfers, Jana and Jason, StartLivingLucky.com. They're our good friends. What's up, guys?
Hey, good morning.
So here's the deal.
Jen and Jason are about to do it. They're like, you want to hear the truth?
Yeah.
We're like, watch that, what's on?
Yeah. So here's the deal. We have to do like a warm-up because as we were talking, we're kind of, doing a little warm-up and loosening up and like getting to see each other again and like getting back into recording mode. Yeah. And Jana said, don't you feel sometimes that the less you care, that the more, maybe I'm going to finish your thought here, that maybe the smoother things go or maybe you get more in a flow, maybe you get in a flow state? And the answer to that for me is we have to do that. When we get in here, we cannot go cold. We have to sit down. We go live on Twitch. And then we have to do like 10 minutes of just talking to each other, trying to get into a not caring kind of mentality. Because when we plan and we do shows where we structure it and we go, we have to care about this, 98% of the time we fail.
Yeah, so it's a get out of your head and just get into your heart and get into just who you are.
Oh, get into my car.
Self.
It's a get into my van.
Well, let me ask you guys about this because I feel like saying you shouldn't care or like we have to get in the mentality of not caring is a little bit misleading because obviously,
a little cavalier.
Obviously we care about our business, we care about our product, but I guess and this can go for anybody in life and in general advice. It's, I guess, worrying about things that are out of your control you shouldn't do because it's energy that's wasted. And, you could care about what you're doing and care about your business, your life, or anything you're putting your time and effort into. But if you sit there and worry about all these future things you have no control of or how successful or who's listening, things that you have no control over, it's wasted energy, and therefore all that wasted energy has an impact on your present energy, and it could have a negative impact.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
I find that with social media, the less that I care, the more that I care, like the more time I put into it, or the more that I'm like, oh, I hope people like this, I'll get like 10 likes on it. But if I just put up something where I have zero makeup on and I'm like, Jason, oh, we can't put that up, but I'm just being my authentic, real self, then all of a sudden people tend to like that better. If I just show up and not really care what people think, it is better. It's better for everybody.
Yeah,
it's real.
It's real.
It's real.
It's authentic.
And I think a lot of times it's just knowing what your end goal is. So if you know where you want to be and where you want to end up, like if I want to be happy or if I want to get to X point, I don't have to know every road I'm going to get there. I just need to know the general direction. So if you don't want to have to try to navigate or dictate where the conversation is going to go, just know that you want to have a good conversation.
Yeah.
I also think there's a lot of, I guess you could say,
racists.
No, benefit into having the mentality of like 10,000 tiny stairs, or like
is that a short joke? What are you saying about me?
no, you know, like
I climb regular stairs, sir.
Just and it's kind of in the same
10,000 Maniacs, Natalie Merchant.
It's under the same premise of grinding it out, right? It's all the little daily things, the long game,
yeah.
all these little daily things that you do, and they add up to a lot over time. And it's kind of like interest when you're saving, like what Warren Buffett did. It was like it compounds itself, but it just takes time, and it takes daily work,
dedication,
and so you'll
discipline.
It's the most unsatisfying thing, though, because it just takes time, and everybody wants it now, right? It's like a diet or anything you do, right? If you just have a 100-calorie deficit every day, it takes 3,000 calories to burn a pound. It's going to take a while, but 2 years from now, you'll have your goal.
Let's talk about that. Have you guys seen The Whale?
No, come on.
Not seen that yet, but I really want to.
Tom saw it. Tom saw it at the end zone with his wife. And then they got.
And what'd you think?
As old news. I already talked about it.
He saw it with his wife. They got horny afterwards. They went home, made a baby.
It's fine. It's
some butter popcorn.
Because so here's the deal. We just got back from Nicaragua.
What?
We were giving away wheelchairs, and there was one recipient of a wheelchair.
She didn't fit.
And she didn't fit.
Really?
Oh my God. How embarrassing.
Didn't know what to do.
Yeah, well, that's when you just, you go, well, it's the thought that counts.
Is it one size for all of them?
No, I've seen the jumbos at the hospital. One time I think I was getting wheeled out by my gallbladder, and they put me in a jumbo as they were wheeling me out. And I got to tell you,
it's double wide.
Everybody should get the jumbo. I bought an XXXL. Mistakenly bought an XXXL foldable camping chair.
Oh, yeah. That thing is comfortable.
It was a mistake. I bought it accidentally at REI. It was mislabeled, and I go up there, and they're like $42. I'm like, yeah, all right, this is good. And I get it home, and I open it up, and I'm like, holy crap, it's an aircraft carrier. So I sit in it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Everyone should have an XXXL.
Could you get through the doorways?
No, this is a camping chair.
No, it's a camping chair.
No,
it's too big. It could never fit through a door. It's too big for a doorway. It's literally a giant king throne. Everyone should have them. Kids, children, pets.
He takes it camping, and he throws a blanket over it, and it protects him from the bears and everything.
It's great.
He climbs up in it.
Now,
so what did you do?
Let me ask you guys this, because
what's your solution?
If I hate awkward scenarios.
I
and
wish
situations,
you were giving the chair to the big lady.
And then I'm down. You're in South America. You're doing this awesome thing.
You with the language barrier and the awkwardness. Oh, this is a dream come true.
So Tom, picture this. Yeah. So she gets up. We got 75 to 100 people in the room. She gets up out of this resin bench, and they take the arms of the chair off, and she gets help turning around, and she kind of lands in the wheelchair. Everything flops over the wheels.
Oh, yeah.
So she can't move.
It bends in like one of those cars I've seen, like dang with it.
No. Yeah, so everything is just stopped. And then they're like, well, that's not going to work.
Oh, man.
So
that's when you just get on the plane
all this way to get the wheelchair, but what they ended up doing for us is saying, this isn't going to work in Spanish. So it was translated for us. And they said, we're going to order you.
Problemo.
I don't know what they send it.
I don't know what to say there.
Gordita.
Gordita problemo.
Yeah. But Jason suggested that they put the armrest back on and that we stuff her back in it.
Jason's such a sensitive soul. Jason is a sensitive soul.
Not talk about this topic.
I feel like this
has
been
very detrimental. I've sat on an airplane next to some big people, and I was like, if I'm sitting down first and then you big people sit down,
it's like Tetris.
It'll work.
Yeah, it's Tetris. Gotta get the pieces in right. Play the Russian music.
So why did you go to that particular country?
They found it had the smallest people, but there's always an outlier.
Is it just the next one in line? How does that work?
So businesses get to actually sponsor a container, and containers hold 280 wheelchairs.
Okay.
So whatever business sponsors a container, they can actually, if they sponsor a whole container, they can pick the country it goes to. And then we work with Rotaries and medical departments in that country to already find all the participants or recipients to get the wheelchairs. and all the logistical work is pretty much done. So then people can kind of get on the van or get on the bus and then go do the deliveries through Chair the Love.
Do you have to?
It's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, well,
I will say that. And this trip, we actually got to go into people's homes, which going into a third world country and going into people's homes, we saw homes with dirt floors, and I always get really, really intrigued with toilets in third world
me too.
countries.
I'm a toilet collector.
Guys?
I have a whole collection of toilets. I have them from all around the world. I have a Japanese toilet, Chinese toilet.
What kind of toilets are we talking here?
What's your favorite toilet?
The toilet, the toilet with the big 55-gallon drum next to it, and then the half a milk jug.
Oh yeah, that's the scooper. We call it the scooper.
Yeah, because it, it's gravity. The toilet works.
I know how toilets work.
Yeah, well, Janet, that was the first time Janet had ever seen one, so she's throwing the toilet paper into the milk.
No,
my God,
you have to put it in the trash can
over here. Yeah, you can't put that down the pipes.
What are you
can't
doing?
handle
Jana,
it.
what are you doing? You're going to get kicked out of this. Someone's home. That's so disrespectful.
Yeah, you grew up in Kansas. I know from growing up in Miami that all my friends, you throw your doo-doo paper in the trash can.
I had an old lady yell at me one time.
Because the pipes can't handle it.
They can't. So how many chairs you gave? You gave away 70. You brought 75. You gave away 74.
We gave away 260.
Wow.
259.
No, we still gave that one away too.
What you do? Oh my God, that's heartbreaking. She had to stand there and watch you give it to somebody else. That's like the big people that have to watch the roller coaster take off.
Yeah, she sat there and watched it get away.
Oh my God, Jason.
So and the like, how often do they do that? And how often are you guys involved? How does that work?
So we go when we can. They're trying to do a distribution every month, but right now they've got 3 go in January.
They have
2 in February.
Yeah, so. 1 to Trinidad, 1 to Kenya. They can't keep up. We have so many companies now that are on board, so it's really like starting to take off. It's
Serious
really
question: are there some chairs that are better than others, or are they all sort of the same? Because I are there any people that are like, hey, I want the pink one, or I want the graphite one, or I want like.
Ours are all the same. We buy them in bulk, so they're all red chairs, and they're all the same.
Very good.
I know that I've asked you this question before, Jana, but
I'm going to do it again, but this time in a different voice.
Are there any sort of advances in technology that are making the chairs cheaper to manufacture? Or
watch out for those AI chairs, man.
Is there another thing besides the stereotypical wheelchair they can
we
work?
At least put an iPad holder on it?
This cheaper? No, I'm just like this cheaper, or like I don't know.
Can you 3D print one?
Yeah, that's a good question. But I imagine there's so many.
Buying them in bulk. I mean, we're buying them from China, and they're getting them pretty cheap. Like, this foundation is getting them for $250 a piece.
Oh, that's ridiculously cheap. My God. I've seen some of the price tags on those, especially with insurance, and they can go thousands upon thousands upon thousands. So $250 is ridiculously good. Well, that's awesome. It's awesome that you can do that. And then, like, do you have a?
Are they made well? Because when you buy, let's just say some promotional items that we get that are straight.
The Tom and Dan wheelchairs would be a little.
We've ordered.
They sort of go straight.
The specs on these chairs they're designed to last 15 years.
Yeah. So they're heavy duty.
Country, I would say probably 12 years maybe.
Yeah, like they're a little heavier duty, a little more. It's like when you're buying a bike, you can get a big
steel frame. But I will say
frame.
our pumps, our luggage didn't make it on this trip. Our luggage got lost.
Oh my God.
So when we got there, our air pumps didn't make it. And so we had to pump up all of these tires manually, and it was a lot of work.
They don't come pre-pumped?
They should come pre-pumped.
Yeah.
Oh.
They come across with not much air in the tires.
How far was how long of a flight or travel was it for you guys to get there?
Wasn't bad. 30 minutes to Miami and then 2.5 hours to Nicaragua.
But it was on the day that the FAA canceled all the flights.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, we heard about that. It's because everybody got the vaccine.
Well, let's talk about that. Crystal's cousins were in town last week, and they got caught in that. Like, they were supposed to be like landing in the morning, and Crystal was going to pick them up. And they're like, oh, the
software glitch.
The FAA grounded every flight in the entire country. And I'm like, really?
And it's going to take like 5 years to get all the software back up to speed.
And
like
Brandon.
To fix the problem. That's what Tom says.
And I was like, every flight? And they're like, every flight. And I'm like, man, you would think that there would be like different sections, or like if one went down.
I feel like if I were a pilot, I'd be like, well, if every flight is grounded, we're going.
There's nothing up there.
Yeah, here we go. Let's take off.
Yeah, I mean, at least you could have 1,800 flights going because they're all so full.
If there's 1,800 grounded, put 100 up there. Let's see how it goes for a little while.
I mean, because have you ever seen how many flights? Like if you go on that one track,
don't do it. If you're scared of flying, don't do it. I've done it. It'll scare you because it's literally like a million ants flying.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's too much.
So you can have a couple thousand up there flying around.
Too.
You don't even have to watch them.
Yeah, you don't even need to say anything.
The land is fine.
Yeah. It's too wide.
So has anyone looked to see how much that cost? Like what the cost of that was?
Oh, I'm sure it was millions, maybe even a billions, right?
I don't know. Yeah, with the amount of, I guess though, you don't really have any recourse when your flight gets delayed. It's not. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, there's no recouping that. I mean, it's just it costs.
Yeah, there are government rules though. They have to let you know within a certain amount of time, or you get a full refund. I mean, that's just government regulated.
Yeah, but if you wanted the full refund, they'll give it to you, but you still have to fly to the place you need to. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's really.
And don't take a travel voucher either. Don't do that. That's a scam.
Yeah, because
don't do it. Get your money.
You're really at the mercy. You're like, I need to fly here, so whatever it takes to get there, I have to do because there's no. I guess that you could turn around and go home, but who's got that option?
Yeah,
like most people that are flying somewhere. They have to fly.
And then that's why you're stuck at the airport. Is there anything else that you guys have been doing other than that? Are there, we were talking about like adding in little things into your life to make it better, and I know you guys are proponents of that. Is there anything recently that you guys have been adding that, or new things that you've been trying to do daily to better yourselves?
I've added push-ups.
Nice.
Nice. I hate push-ups. I don't like working out, so it's that's just one little thing. But I'm not adding big things. That's it.
I've added some hypnosis, which I think maybe the last time I talked to you guys, I had already added some of that. But I'm really like into talking to my brain.
Yeah, I kind of am too. But it's like I'm still doing the EMDR deal.
How is that going?
It's good, and I'll share because you guys are on, and I know this is a captive audience. Like, about 2 weeks ago, we had a breakthrough. I've never had a breakthrough before, and I've never had one of those where you actually process the memory to a point where she says, I can put it away. But we got to a point where I was reliving a memory that was like kind of scary and sad, and I'm holding these buzzers, and she's talking to me calmly, and I'm in my own brain, and I just busted out crying. And it's real. It's real, man. And I felt a lot better afterwards. Even talking about it right now, I get little goosebumps. And then you kind of move on, and move on to the next memory.
I almost laughed at you.
It's fine.
I almost screamed, "Don't tell me."
This is my support staff.
Well,
some people will get it. Some people won't until they have to.
Yeah, the chat room is yelling "gay." I've never seen the word "gay."
I yelled it in my head, but I can't say it out loud anymore. I know this.
Allowed. You could type it though.
This has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. Sorry, but
that's a huge switch.
I saw this TikTok video of Rick Rubin. Are you guys familiar with who Rick Rubin is?
He looks like a polar bear.
Singer.
A big hairy. Well, he's a producer.
Looks like an old-timey gold miner. You know what I'm saying?
With the hair and the beard.
And I heard him talking to someone in an interview, and he's like, I don't know anything about engineering music or anything about really much music at all. And they're like, well, what do you do? And he's like, I just know what's good, and I
just know what sounds good.
I know what sounds good.
I'm like that.
And then, and I'm like, well, what Why do so many people everybody uses Rick Rubin and this is like, oh, he used
I mean,
Rick
I'm
Rubin.
not saying I'm Rick Rubin, but that's how I mix. I mix for like what I think sounds good. I don't do it according to like what it should be done. I don't throw compression on there the way it should be done, reverb, any effect I do. I only mix it for what I like.
And I'm trying to understand this, and Jan and Jason, you could weigh in, but is it just that his brain is computing something that is unquantifiable that other people just know?
He has a style.
But they're using his brain like a personal computer to be like, is this good? And based on all the projects he's done and his success with, producing good music or whatever.
Like he sets the standard? Is that kind of what you're saying?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what he does. I always thought he was literally in like a Dr. Dre, an engineer.
No, he's not an engineer. He's a producer. He would have an engineer by his side running everything, and he'd go, that bass needs to come up. No, it's not full enough. Can you open that up? We need a gate on that drum track. Like, he'd do that. Then the engineer would move everything. He's going on what sounds good. If you watch the documentary Funky Monks.
So weird to me.
There's a documentary called Funky Monks that's about the Red Hot Chili Peppers making the album Blood Sugar Sex Magic. And in that, you get to see Flea and Rick Rubin. Flea is inside the control room with Rick Rubin. And Flea is playing a bass part, and Rick's sitting about like how Tom and I are sitting. And Flea's playing, and it's like really busy. It's a really busy bass part. It's like he's moving his fingers a lot and really doing these runs. And Rick's like, no, pull that back. You need to pull. It's too heavy. It's too busy. You need to. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's what I want. That's what. And he does it like that. And then he'll just play it like until that's the way it's supposed to sound. That's just the amount of notes. That's just the amount of busyness we need. And boom, and now that's the track.
What are you thinking, Tom? What are you thinking right now? Because I'm trying to read your facial expression.
I don't get it.
I'm just okay.
That was pretty good.
No,
Jason.
I do get. I'm trying to understand. My wife yells at me all the time because she's like, "Quit trying to understand everything. You don't need just some
Just
things.
let it be.
Just
The Beatles,
let it be.
man. Let it be."
But I'm like, I can't. I need to understand what's happening.
It sounds like he's just a chef. He's a music chef. So he knows what it tastes like, and he's like, this needs more salt. This needs more paprika, whatever it is.
You do that with our company.
That's a taster. A chef is cooking it. Like,
you're a taster. You ain't no chef. You're just a glorified taster, for God's sake.
Because technically the chef would be the musician.
You didn't go to no goddamn Corton
putting
Blue.
it together.
Well, Chef Ramsay's in the kitchen telling people what to do, and then he just kind of tastes it every now and then and says, this is all jacked up. Yeah. You did it wrong.
It's wrong.
So it's kind of like a manager. He's got a managing.
You big, fat, disgusting blueberry.
He's kind of just managing and using his personal taste, and it must be proven that he has the same tastes that the general public does.
No, not necessarily.
No,
I don't think the Red Hot Chili Peppers are everybody's taste. But he did, for me, he produced one of their greatest albums because what the chat room said is the producer is able to pull the performance out of the artist, right? So Rick Rubin's energy, his thoughts, the way he thinks it should be, just the way he is. He pulls that little anecdote I gave you about Flea. He was able to tell Flea as a bass player, hey, not this minute, you're too busy. Back it down a little bit. Keep it a little more succinct, just lay in the back with Chad Smith on the drums and just kind of do that rhythm section thing. You're not playing a solo here. Back it down. And then...
Well, how does he know? I trust Flea. Flea is doing it.
You don't trust the player. You're never going to trust a guitar player to write the music because he's going to make a solo the entire song.
It's one of these things that's very unquantifiable. And
your quest is the unquantifiable, I believe, right?
Well, I want to know...
I want to know
if what he's doing, is it along the same lines as some sort of like psychic or where you get supernatural, where that's like
where he's plugged into a different energy, maybe?
Where people use him now because like, oh yeah, he's got something other people like. Do
you believe in people's energies? Do you believe in people's personalities?
Personalities,
personality is the only energy you have, right? It's your vocal energy, maybe.
Yeah. I guess, but
I made that up. I don't know.
I just want someone to be like, yeah, this guy's brain is able.
Do you think
he's
a genius? Or you think if he took an IQ test, he'd be a genius?
Well, he was born in Casadega.
Rick Rubin?
Yeah.
Really?
No.
I don't know if I trust that.
Man, I should have had the camera. I should have had the camera on you because you were like, really? I'm just a poor little tester.
I don't know why I brought that up. So, what's your next adventure, guys?
Yeah,
where are you going next?
Yeah,
I'll see you guys in December. But I attempted my first Christmas song.
I heard it. I heard. You know what? It's
You
my
did?
It's my ringtone. Peppermint Wheels. No, I know what it is. I know what it is, and I listened to it. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you
Hold on,
because
let's play it.
I do not lie to my friends.
Tell me more.
I saw you did it. I clicked on it. I got a little bit into it, and I stopped it. And then I never went back.
Why? Why didn't you listen all
I
day?
I have no excuse. I'm just not lying to her. I'm not going to say I went all the way.
Thank you for clicking.
Yeah,
Thank
I clicked. You got it. Went 5 seconds, so I think you still got credit for that. But I didn't go all the way through it. I think we were recording something when I was trying to listen to it.
I clicked
then
on
You
it.
don't have to pay Rick Rubin unless someone plays it all the way through.
I clicked 5 times on it and donated to your charity.
What's the charity called? Wheels on the ground keep on, wheels in the sky keep on moving. So let's talk about the song. So you wrote it. Did you write the music and everything? Did you grab a track?
I wrote the music. I wrote the melody. I wrote the chords. I designed the wheels. I potentially have a product coming out, and I know that I rushed it out this Christmas, but next Christmas I will actually have a product to sell with it.
Oh, I love it.
Matt McEwen helped produce it.
Oh, yes. And Matt McEwen helped me actually record it, and he helped put a little guitar to it. And there you go.
Now, was
we
it
literally did this, I think 4 or 5 days before Christmas. And it literally was done in like a couple hours.
That's dope. You were the type of person where you were obsessed with like doing these like they're like on the earth skydiving things. Like you're like, I'm scared of that. I'm doing stand up. I'm scared of that. I'm writing a song, right? Was that like one of these? Because I like this.
It was. I was watching some sort of show. I don't even remember what it was. And this guy was like, I've always wanted to have my own Christmas song. And the idea like stuck with me. I was like, I want my own Christmas song. Like that would be fun to have my own Christmas carol.
Yeah.
And so I just thought, I'm going to do it.
I love it.
What's the product?
Do you want to hear it?
Yes, I do want to hear it.
I got to find it. Hold on. Where can I? Is it on YouTube?
No.
Is it on YouTube?
It's on Apple Music. It's on.
Is it on Spotify? Can I get it?
It's on Spotify.
Yeah.
Now, just know before we start playing this,
yes.
Well, what are you doing? Oh man, the artwork's great, Jenna. You look great.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know what to do when someone's either playing a song in front of me or playing me their song that they wrote.
He does it to me too. He looks at the ground.
You might cringe.
No, I'll never hurt your feelings by cringing or so. Really, I have a stone cold poker face because I don't want to show
pop poker face.
I don't want to show my cards, whether or I'll do a bob like I'm into it, but
he's really turning his ears off. He turns his ears off like a fish, so he doesn't have to listen.
But I'm afraid to do too much of a bob because then the listeners are making fun of me on Twitch.
Look at him, he's disingenuous. Look at him, that's a fake bob.
Yeah. So I can't do it too much because they're screaming fake bob or they're.
I want to name you
Bob
fake bob
with your mouth open.
So I'd rather just. Can we get a bag I could put over my head?
The song bag.
It just says listening on the
front.
front.
Listening bag. We both need listening bags that we put over our heads when people play songs in here, so that way they don't know whether we like it or hate it. It can just be.
Also, you know what I'm mad about that I've never mentioned to you, Daniel?
This could be anything. Why are you taking your pants off?
Is that I get so scared, and I think I've mentioned this before.
Is it something I'm scared of?
No, at the end, when I know the ending is coming, especially when a performer is doing it live in the studio.
Next Christmas, Jana's going to come in here with a full band and Michael Andrew of Swingerhead.
Like when I know the ending is coming, and then we don't have any like canned applause or
we're
cheering or whatever.
We're very low budget, very grassrootsy.
And then so usually they end, and then Daniel doesn't do anything. He just sits there.
And you go, yeah! He screams. He goes, yay!
I just scream, yay!
Yay! And I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? And then you're like, all right. You always do the all right. All right. That was great, guys.
I knew you knew I was doing it, and you're doing it on purpose.
All right. I don't
know what else to do.
I'm just a little taster.
Because what am I supposed to do? Just sit there and just very good. What the hell am I supposed to do?
Ladies and gentlemen, with her hit song, Peppermint Wheels,
God.
here's Jenna Banana.
I don't think we should listen to the whole thing.
Here we go. This is Peppermint Wheels. Stare right at Jenna.
Now I'm embarrassed.
Peppermint wheels makes my spirit soar. Puts a pep in your step with friends you'll adore. Oh, peppermint wheels spreads kindness around, brings drops of joy with the sweet little sound. Smile, surprise.
I like it, Jenna.
Mesmerized. Oh,
You've always had a good voice, though. You know, like she's always been able to sing. Well done.
Yeah.
I like it.
No, we don't need to listen to the whole.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me kill it. All right. Let me kill the wheels. All right. I thought
But yeah.
There's a little
I like
Peppermint
it.
Wheels. You can find it on Spotify.
Yeah, there you go.
Now what's the product that is
Peppermint Wheels, you
Peppermint
idiot.
wheel.
Well, what is that?
She's in a wheelchair, for Christ's sake. You can't
Is it
put
a
two and two together.
Okay, well, hold on.
This is the dumbest human on the planet.
No. Well, is it a wheel? Like an actual
It's a
wheel?
wheel cover.
It's a wheel.
It's a wheel cover.
Oh,
You have
Some people
seen
have
her
used
wheel
the
covers.
product,
Well,
Some people won't.
It wasn't obvious.
You have seen her wheel covers. We have talked about them.
Well, the song should be Peppermint Wheel Cover because it's just Peppermint Wheels.
But Peppermint Wheel cover is not as good.
Well, peppermint, that insinuates that it actually is a
guy's
wheel of peppermint that is somehow.
Why do you gotta make it literal, man? Why do you gotta try to understand everything? It's peppermint wheels. It's the covers of the wheels, and they look like peppermints. That's it.
Is it made out of cardboard, plastic? What is it?
It's carbon fiber.
It's actually kind of fabric-ish.
Licorice.
Fabric foam-ish.
Oh.
Made of fabric foam. Fabric foam.
Fabric
They're made
foam.
out of
There you
love.
go. That's a dumb question.
Yeah.
What?
But in the middle of my song, I actually put in this little rap.
Peppermint wheels that are so good. Wet ass wheels. We got some wet ass wheels. These are wet ass wheels. These are wet ass peppermint wheels. So suck that peppermint stick, boy. What? Sorry, I was getting in it.
To give candy to people. So you know those peppermint wheels? You know that candy that nobody likes?
I love
Do you know what I'm
peppermint wheels.
talking
Yeah, I
about?
love peppermint wheels. The little.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, the Brock's
so you go
peppermint.
up to somebody and you go pushy, 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 pushy. I forgot how it goes.
Pushy, 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 pushy. These wheels are really squishy. Wet ass wheels.
Push it.
Push it. Push these peppermint wheels. Push it. These wheels are make some squeals.
Punch and hide. So you put a piece of candy in one of your hands, okay?
I got a kitty in my
And you
hand.
punch
Which hand is it? The other one's got
and
my
then you hide
knee.
it behind your back. And then you say, don't you want to know what's inside? Is it left? Is it right? You decide. And then they pick, and then you turn it around, and inside is a peppermint wheel. And then when they smile, then off you glide. You know
You
what
are
I'm
a
saying?
psychopath, and I love it. Oh my God, that is so
Simple as
crazy.
that.
It's so good. It's a peppermint wheel. You decide which hand's got that peppermint glide. Which one's got the candy? The right or the left? Pick it, pick it, pick it, pick it. Everybody, the blind and the deaf. We don't care. Pick them wheels. Juicy ass wheels.
Yes, that's exactly
Let me ride that
it.
pepper.
Oh, I like that. Let me ride that peppermint donkey. Let me ride that
All right.
peppermint donkey. Let me ride that peppermint donkey.
I
I'm
wish I
sorry.
could have had you do that part. 'cause you
Next
do it
year
so
we
much
can
better.
combine Dominic the Christmas donkey with peppermint wheels and do Let Me Ride That Peppermint Donkey. Tommy, I'm gonna write this down. Hold on, where's my pencil?
What does that have nothing to do with wheels, though?
Doesn't
Not a
matter.
donkey.
It'll get more attention for peppermint wheels, and for the charity we'll do Let Me Ride That Peppermint Donkey.
Or I would love to collaborate with you. I really
There you
would.
go.
I think you
That's
guys
what
are so
influencers
talented.
do, and we are influencers, and influencers. I don't know if you know this, they're called collabs. We'll do a collab.
Okay.
Can
I'm writing that down.
Yeah,
so
write
I
that
don't mess
down.
it up.
Write down Peppermint Donkey too, in case I lose my paper.
Okay, I will.
Start living
That was
lucky.
my nickname at college. I don't think I'm gonna forget it.
Jana, Jason, startlivinglucky.com is the website.
You guys.
Love you
thank
too.
You.
Thanks for letting
Hey,
us.
wish me luck. I'm doing a TEDx next week. Woo!
A TEDx. Tom wants to do a TEDx. That's where you stand up on stage and you talk about like something extraordinary that you do, right?
Yeah. And what I do extraordinary is I go on Tom and Dan.
Oh, you're too sweet. I think we waste your time, but I'm okay with it.
Let's talk about the TED Talk because.
All right, we got to run.
All right. I'll see you guys.
Love you guys.
I don't know. Oh, what happened? What happened? I think they were like, we've had enough.
The TED Talk. I've heard other people like, oh, I did a TED Talk. I'm like, the actual one where you're standing on the red stage.
No, nobody does that.
Like,
Only
no.
Ted does that.
They're like, no. I did it.
The Ted Eustace.
Yeah,
I've seen that. I've seen Ted Eustace.
Yeah.
They got Ted Seville.
Yeah, it was
Ted DeLand.
It was at a stage at a rec center at Seminole County Rec Center. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's. What is that? I thought it was at the red stage where the guy in the microphone and
here's
the thing.
Thing. I don't want to yuck on anybody's yum, but yes.
I love doing that.
Okay, well then let's do it. If you give me the green
light. It's my
light.
favorite thing.
Okay, really? Okay,
yeah.
let's do it then.
We should start a podcast called Yuck. Too yuck.
It is a nothing.
Okay.
If you can do the real Ted, if you do and you're standing on stage and Ted is there and he's like, good job, then that's a real TED Talk.
Okay.
If you're doing Ted DeLand, if you're doing Ted Baldwin Park, like me, I'm up here at Baldwin Park Elementary School, I'm doing Ted Baldwin, that doesn't count.
It's like winning a local Emmy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
lower than that. It's like winning a local pie eating contest. It's like, seriously, it's a nothing.
Okay, yeah.
No, who's there? Who is there?
Does Ted get paid because you use the brand?
Yes,
oh, that's how they.
That's
So
the scam. It's a Ted scam.
It's okay. It's the damn thing's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Well, it's not a pyramid scheme.
Ted's like, hey, you could pay $800 and you could label this a Ted.
Put a Ted on. What if I went out and put a Ted on it? No. What are you gonna do, Ted? Come at me, bro.
Sue you,
I don't think they would. If we did
it's too
Tom
bad.
and Dan TED Talk and called it Ted, same logo and everything, and people showed up, I guarantee you we can get a letter from Ted.
They may scrape the internet and just sue everybody. Then we just don't open it like every other lawsuit.
Yeah. We've got so many lawsuit letters. I got a whole file in here.
I tell you, just don't look at it.
And you know what? The one that was coming, it was coming. It was like every day. It was like another one and another one. It was like DJ Khaled. And then I pull them all out. I put them in the file. And then you know what? After Christmas, they stop. And I was like, it's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah, they'll just keep sending it and then they'll stop.
I got a couple voicemails we can pick at.
All right.
Like they were bones. What do you think of that Peppermint Donkey, right? I think it's a good idea. I think sometimes when they come on our show that they're like, we should never do this. And then it comes back around and they're like, let's try it again.
Yeah, the month is enough time. It's like camping where you're like, right when you're done with it, you're like, I'm never doing this again. And then after a while, you forget all the bad parts and you're like, hey,
I think we use that analogy too every time they're on. It's coming, the CTE, the dementia. We got it all. One voicemail. Here we go.
Hey, Tom, Dan, and Sam. This is BDM Easy from San Diego. And if you remember, my 2021 New Year's resolution was to leave you more voicemails, and I left 2, and you played both of them, so mission accomplished. My 2022 resolution, I never decided on, so I didn't do anything. 2023, I'm thinking it's time for me to get a skit or a bit or a segment, or at least be like on the R team. Anyway, Tom, you were talking about one-wheeling with your hands in your pockets and what would happen if it just died. Well, I can tell you, because my XR control board died when I was one-wheeling with the 18-pack of Tecate.
Good beer.
And yeah, you eat S pretty bad because you're not prepared for the landing. And the worst part was, in San Diego, we have horrible roads, and I landed in some gnarly potholes and just gravel. And when I went to the ER, they didn't even know what to do with it. It wasn't a cut, it was just hamburger on my elbow. And Dan, you'll appreciate this or not. I have full sleeve tattoos, and this is the first time I've actually ruined my tattoos. So yeah, Tom, be careful on the one wheel. It will die, and it's really expensive to fix. All right, take care.
There you go. You got a guy. I have never really eaten it on my tattoos. I mean, I have a couple little scratches,
Yeah, but never grinded it off.
I mean, I have one on. Yeah, I got one on this elbow a little bit where I dug into. You can just see a little bit right. I think over in there. It might have dropped out a little bit, but it's pretty good.
You know, it's weird with all the people that do have tattoos. I rarely see a situation where someone grinded it off.
You know, the worst one I saw that was very, very odd, and it just goes to show you that we are both strong and fragile at the same time. I had a buddy that had like some pretty intricate, like, I think they were like Japanese inspired, like artwork, really expensive, like really nice tattoos. And then he had a motorcycle accident where he broke his arm. And when they had to go in and like it really messed his arm up bad to the point where they're gonna have to go in and do a lot of reconstructive surgery.
Yeah.
Well, when they put his arm back together, they tried to match up the tattoos the best that they could, but they couldn't. Like the lines were completely moved. Like were not the same, and he was like his arm had changed shape.
So
the skin, the line work had moved. Like it's like the whole thing had like, and they were trying to, and the doctor even said, look, we tried to line it up the best we could, but you are what you are. You're just a sack of meat, and there's not much, there was some sticks in there.
To me,
about all we can do.
It kind of makes it cooler.
It does.
This is part of
the story.
The story, your life. Like now your tattoo's a little different.
Yeah. No big deal.
That makes it more interesting to me. Back to the one wheel. They do make wheels that you bolt onto the front nose of it. Because it sits in a certain way that
I would have those if I rode that thing to work. Like we got some guys here that ride them to work.
Yeah.
I would have one of those because I don't want to eat it.
And those wheels act like a wheelie bar. So if it does lose power or stop, instead of it just hitting nose down and you stopping and flying off the front,
you can coast a little bit.
You coast a little bit. Although I feel like it would slow down enough to still throw you off the front, but it wouldn't be such a jarring stop.
Yeah. Does it look nerdy though?
It does.
See, that's the problem, right?
Yeah, it's like wearing a helmet when you're riding a bike or whatever.
Oh, like having, I remember I had like for the longest time I had big, because it came this way, like big like crash bars on the side of my Harley. Like on the side where I could put like with pegs on, I could put my legs up on there, but people would make fun of them, like friends of mine, like, what are you, grandpa? And I finally took them off, but you know what? It was kind of nice having them.
Yeah.
Because if that thing started to dip on you or anything, or if you got squirrely, you just touch and it was like,
yeah. There's a different generation too. Like safety equipment has become a lot more mainstream, and like people make fun of you less by having it.
Nothing wrong with wearing a helmet.
I'd like to go back and go to
no helmet.
Yeah. All right. Like just barefoot riding a dirt bike. Like just completely unsafe. Just because people be like, oh man, look at that guy. Like living his best life.
I'll say it again. The number of one wheels that are in this neighborhood now after Christmas, dude, it's got to be 50. It's crazy, the amount of one wheels. Did they drop the price or something? Is the pint cheaper now or something? What is going on? I've never seen this many. We have like a gang in Baldwin now.
Yeah.
Like a whole group.
Because they're built well, and
it's a good product, right?
There's a good product. Like there's a reason why for a certain aspect those hoverboards kind of died off in popularity just because they're built
trash.
A hunk of S.
It seems like and one wheel guys. Oh man, well except for you're the outlier, man. You talk to a one wheel guy, he'll chirp to you about the one wheel. You won't, but other one wheel guys. The guys in Baldwin, I'll be like, hey, man, nice one wheel. He's like, oh, have you ridden one before? You want to try mine? They're great. And they're always trying to get you to buy one. They're all about it. One wheel guys are nice, I think. One wheel people are happier than you. They're chirpers. A lot of chirpers.
They are stupid because they're ruining it for everybody and themselves. You should not advocate anybody to buy these because the more and more people that buy them, the more restrictions are going to be put against us. And then it's going to be you're going to ticketable offense to ride it on the sidewalk, or you ride it on a bike path or anywhere on the beach or whatever. They're going to start shutting it down. And the more popular something gets, the worse it gets. Like it was better 5 years ago when nobody had them, and people were like, "Whoa, what's that?"
Yeah,
and like he can ride it anywhere.
He's from the future.
And there's no law or anything, so he can do whatever he wants. And there was like,
did you create that in your garage? Are you a scientist?
I'm telling you now, with all these electric everything, like they're gonna ruin it. It's inevitable. We're never gonna now.
So the regulation is coming.
It's coming, yeah, for sure.
Coming
because
feel the wave.
What I know for sure that it happens every time that people will ruin everything good for themselves.
Okay,
and when it's illogical.
The only thing unruinable is a Peppermint Donkey. Let's see.
Yeah,
We have to get out of here.
Yeah, I know. We gotta go.
No, you got there. You got there. You want a final thought?
You used to be able to drive boats into Blue Spring. They have pictures of it, and when you
know.
go there,
I did it with my dad.
and you see the people in the '70s are drinking beer in the boil, like they're all in boats
We
over
did
there.
it.
But then I'm sure they degraded all the sides and they ruined the beer cans and trash.
You
and then
pull your boat up to the side, dude.
all the way up there.
Yeah.
But they ruined it. Good job. Bye bye.
All right, nice job. That was a good segment.
Yeah.
Like really ridiculous. Oh, peppermint wheels. That is awesome. Where's that go?
Tuesday 3 and 4.
Thank you. My voice is going again.
That's it for recording today, though.
No commercials or anything?
Nope.
Normally we knock out a few.
We'll hit commercials up tomorrow, and then do one warm up segment
Okay.
that will be played next week.
Alrighty. You said this was 3?
Tuesday 3 and 4,
3 and 4?
because
Yeah, we took it. God, we're so ahead now.
I gotta get back to work on BDM Appreciation Week.
Yeah, you guys got anything before we get out of here? You guys got anything you would like to see in BDM Appreciation Week?
No, don't ask them.
I like
because
them.
they
I
start
like to see
throwing
what
out
they
stuff
say.
we can't do.
Yeah, throw out stuff we can't do.
People are already mad. We're revamping it.
Are they mad? They're not mad yet. They're already mad.
They're already mad, and they were mad last year.
We haven't even done it, and they're mad.
So I think I figured out a way to at least make it fair for everybody. Anyway,
More puke in front yards. That was Melissa. You video versions of go-tos. That's hard, but I can work on that. Somebody wants to watch WrestleMania with me. You know what? I would give that away as a prize. That's easy. Come to the studio, watch WrestleMania, and stream it. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
And make fun of it. Oh, that'd be funny.
We could give away certain personal prizes like that. Well, yeah.
I mean, I guess I could put a jot form on the website and then like have people sign up BDMs, and I'll come and puke in their yard. I'm serious. I'll go there. I'll go and I'm like, blah, and I'll like give them a thumbs up, say thank you for subscribing.
After
what other podcast
number
is gonna
40, we're like, he's puking blood. His esophagus.
No, I'll drink something beforehand. I can do. I'm good. I got a good gag reflex. What other podcast is going to come to your house and puke in your front yard? I don't. Dan Cummins doesn't have that dedication. Joe Rogan doesn't have that dedication. None of the big ones. Bert Kreischer. Well, he might. Bert might. But
too many people are going to want you to do
Segura wouldn't. He's too classy now. Have you seen him lately? He looks great.
Yeah.
Looks like he's turned his life around. All right. Have a great rest of your day, guys. We love you.